Body composition isn't just about maintaining a healthy range of body fat. Equally important is having strong, healthy muscle tissue. Sarcopenia, am I saying that right?
Yeah.
Sarcopenia, or age-related muscle loss, is a normal part of staying alive for a long time. Doesn't seem like much of a reward for staying alive, does it? Not only does skeletal muscle offer the more obvious physical benefits of being able to move around the world with more strength and vigor, but it also yields new and surprising benefits to our biochemistry that are important if we want to feel and perform our best for the long haul. While it is normal to see muscle mass steadily decline with age, going to protest that? Echo Charles?
Let's just say it's debatable sometimes.
Check. Working hard to keep as much as possible is a Sisyphean burden worth pursuing. You got Dr. Gabriel Lyon calling muscle our health insurance policy. So we're lifting.
Got to do resistance training.
Yeah. While lifting weights is the most efficient and effective way to gain strength and muscle, there's a muscle building activity for everybody, whether it's body weight, calisthenics, barbells, kettlebells, Pilates, or jiu-jitsu class. We're in the game.
Resistance.
That is resistance. And you go through how each of one of those, can be utilized, whether it's calisthenics, whether it's kettlebells and dumbbells, barbells. You talk about eating for muscle mass and body composition, protein intake. The rule of thumb for daily protein intake is 1 gram per kilogram of body weight, although women and anybody in their 50s or beyond who wants to maintain or build muscle mass may require more.
That's the word on the streets.
That's my first time hearing that.
Yeah. That's from Dr. Lyon's work.
So she just said straight up, if you're a little older, you need more protein than these young folks do.
Yeah.
Because they got less testosterone or something?
That's, to be honest, that the specifics of that biochemistry is outside my wheelhouse.
But we're
my best understanding at present is because there is less anabolic activity. Mm-hmm. So having a higher volume of protein come in the system boosts anabolics.
My understanding of the biochemistry on that particular topic is milk and steak. Yo, let's go.
I knew steak was going to come.
You got aerobic section here on aerobic health, energy, the different energy pathways, and then how we're measuring these oxygen delivery, resting heart rate recovery, and then the tools that we're going to use. Steady state zone 2 training. Zone 2 training is performed by exercising at an intensity that maintains your heart rate at approximately 60 to 75% of its max. Now it says the common recommendation for general population is an hour to an hour and a half or to 2 hours per week. Mm-hmm. While aerobically adapted might need more. What do you think about that? Is that enough? You got Peter T in here as well.
Yeah, I think so. This is my experience or my understanding based on the data that I've seen, the people who know more about it than I do, and then my own personal experience is the amounts that are given are based on broad generalities in the general population. I think if you really want to know how much you should do, you should measure. And you should see where do you stand in the first place. And then implement a plan and then remeasure and decide if any more than that is worth the squeeze. So for me, I did a VO2 max test at Old Dominion University. You can pay like $125 or something like that. A lot of exercise phys labs at universities can do this. You go in, you pay some money. They put you on a metabolic cart. Right, so you have a gas exchange monitor going on while you're either cycling or running on a treadmill. You go through usually some kind of ramp test where you're increasing wattage. They look at gas exchange, heart rate, rate of perceived exertion, and then you get a score. And then the score puts you in a percentile for your gender and age group. Mine was good. Mm-hmm. So mine was 46, and they said 46 for a guy who's 6'3", 240 pounds. To be moving that kind of air is pretty damn good for my age. And I was like, okay, I feel good about that. Now I'm doing a little bit. I'm only doing 2 days of zone 2 a week, which is probably 60 minutes, but I'm trucking. I'm putting work out. Probably in the fall, I'll test again. For me to do 180 minutes a week.
The ROI is not there.
Yeah, what do I care?
Yeah.
Like, I'm good. I'm in the, like, what am I in the 80? Yeah, I'm in 85th percentile for a 44-year-old man. There's so much other stuff I would rather do. So for me, with the time I have in my life, it's like, do I want to not train jujitsu in the morning to go to ride on a bicycle?
Yeah.
Hell no.
That ain't happening.
You know?
You talk about HIIT training, and then you talk about low intensity. Again, there's so much information in here. Get the book so that you can you can actually understand the stuff rather than just the introduction I'm giving. Section 3, tuning the human. Health is not a state, it's a practice. And that's MC Schrafel.
That's right.
Got one right. That's a miracle.
Nice.
Tools can be indicators. Indicators can be tools. You may have noticed that some of the items I talked about in Section 2 can be used as both indicators and tools. If and when you find one of those things, you've got yourself a keeper. One example could be sun salutation from Chapter 5. In the function check section, I talked about how sun salutation can be used as a litmus test for daily movement. You might find that if you practice it with diligence, it will be a way for you to gain access to new ranges of motion too. I like that idea. And Echo Charles and I were talking about it before you got here because I mentioned that you have this sun salutation, which is kind of like a burpee in a way. And because I started off by saying we were talking about different, like getting down on the floor and getting back up again.
Yeah.
When you were a kid, you didn't even think twice about it. You was lay down, get up, like lay down, get up. It didn't matter. And then Echo was saying like, yeah, I know if there was a pen underneath this table, and you were like, hey, can you grab that pen underneath the table? And he knew he was going to have to like get down on his hands and then like lay down and reach underneath. There was, it was a thing he had to think about. It was one of those things. And when you're a kid, you just don't care. Like, oh, get that pen. You're there. So I was saying that some of the, I was saying that some of the things that's good as like a life thing to always be doing is getting on the ground and getting back up again.
100%.
And so I started with a burpee. I was like, yeah, just doing a burpee, you're getting down on the ground, you're getting back up again. But then I was like, yeah, but if you actually go down there and now you do a couple movements while you're down there to stretch out and then you come back up, you're basically doing this sun salutation, which is a yoga move.
Yeah.
And then you use that not just to say, well, how do I feel when I get down and get back up again, but also I can expand my range of motion because it's a stretch that you're actively doing.
Yeah. Well, so two things. One, this is one of the things that another thing that I think makes jiu-jitsu in particular so valuable is you're getting up and down from the ground so much.
Echo and I said the exact same thing. We're like, that's one thing about jiu-jitsu. Like you're on the mat, you get up, up, down, up, down, up, down.
And while you're doing it, you have to manage other stuff. Right? It's not at your own pace. It's like something will happen to you if you don't do it. Mm-hmm. So I think that's really a major benefit of jiu-jitsu, being comfortable on the floor. But as far as sun salutation goes, not only are you getting up and down from the ground, but you're dealing with some cardinal shapes of the human body, right? So you're reaching overhead, you're looking up while you reach overhead. So you have full global extension of the body. Then you have to fold forward. You compress yourself, so touch your toes or your knees or whatever, right? But you're folding forward, so can you flex your spine? Mm-hmm. Can you do a lunge, which is hip extension, which hip extension is like one of the cardinal predictors of low back pain. So hip extension. Then you have down dog, right? Which is, can you support weight with your arms over your head? So down dog is like the top of a dive bomber push up. Mm-hmm. Then you have up dog, which is the opposite. It's the bottom of a dive bomber, right? So your hips are on the floor and you're extending your hips and your spine. So can you open the front of your body? Then you have a lunge again. So you repeat the other half on the other side of the body. And you combine that with the rhythm of breathing. And not only do you get a sense of those ranges, what you also get is your ability to connect those shapes together smoothly. So when I transition from down dog to up dog, or I transition from a lunge to an up dog, as I change these shapes and I connect them together, how smooth does that happen? Does it feel fluid and graceful, or does it feel like I'm digging through mud? And that might change over time. And it also might change based on what it is you're experiencing in life currently. One thing, so for me, this has been a personal practice for probably 25 years. I rarely miss a day of sun salutation. And
how many do you do?
2 to 4.
And how long do you spend in each like stretch position?
1 to 5 breaths.
Check.
Depends on what I'm feeling going on there. Like, do I need to have a better, like, should I believe that thing's protesting? I'm going to spend 2 more breaths here and go.
What's the total time allotted per day for sun salutation in the morning?
7 minutes.
Check.
My general habit is brew coffee. While coffee is brewing, I do sun salutation.
Nice.
So it's totally accessible.
Yeah.
But I found that it's a great monitoring system. So I figured out when I was tracking my sleep for a while that I have a direct connection between the quality of my deep sleep and how stiff my low back is, regardless of any other input, travel, type of exercise, hydration. Deep sleep, for me, is directly connected to lower back stiffness.